Hello, everyone. My name is Andrius. Welcome back to yet another episode of Going Deeper. It's the series that we're doing at Journey Church when we try to dig deeper into Sunday message and we try to apply it to our lives. And as you know by now, every week I talk to different members of the church just to see how they are living out the message of the gospel, the Sunday message as well that we hear at the church. And today is a little different. So as you can see, my guest and we are on one camera. We just met at the church just now. And so today with me is Rita. Rita is Lithuanian. I'm Lithuanian, but we're speaking in English for everyone's sake. And we will do one of the future episodes still in Lithuanian. Now, on Sunday, we had Jenny, who was speaking about what it means to be a disciple of Jesus, and also how to be someone that disciples others, not just a disciple of Jesus as we are ourselves called to be, but also how to disciple others. And if you've watched the message, you've probably seen Jenny show a chart of just how many people we would be investing really. And that discipleship takes time. And so we have to work on those meaningful relationships, and that we should invite people into our lives and not just preach at them, right? So we have to live together. And so with that, I'm just pleased to have Rita with me here today. And Rita, why don't you share with us first about yourself? Who are you?
Yes. I am Rita, and I became a disciple of Jesus almost 30 years ago. Yeah, that's how I'm old. And I have really been privileged in a few years when I became a disciple to study at the Christian University, LCC in Klaipėda. And I have been discipled by the instructors, the teachers at LCC. And it's such a valuable experience that probably I could have nowhere gotten this experience. And while I was studying there, I wanted also to serve. And so my pastor, Valdas from Šiauliai, invited me to come to a seminar done by Neues Leben missionaries in Šiauliai about children's ministry. And so since 1992, I'm in children's ministry and helping to disciple children and teenagers.
And it's a huge calling. It's a great calling. Sometimes people are scared of children's ministry just because it's not so easy, and it takes time and dedication, and the fact that you've done it for so many years, it speaks a lot about your commitment to this and the calling that you've received from God. So we're going to talk a little bit about what you're doing now and the ministry you're doing now. But first, I want to ask. So you've ended up in Journey Church Vilnius. What do you find exciting about the church for you? How is the church for you? How do you experience the life of the church?
The major element that was drawing me to this church was that it is reaching out to people outside of the church, that is helping people to find God. And of course, there is a great fellowship among believers here in this church, but what was the most appealing to me was that this church has an evangelistic element quite strong. And so that's why I'm here, and yeah, and my life also. I have committed my life in helping children to find Jesus, to find God. Well, I could have become an English teacher, but after graduating the university, I thought that, well, everyone can teach English, but not everyone can teach the way to forgiveness, the way to God, and how, yeah. So that's why I've chosen this path of serving God by letting the little ones come to Jesus. And several Sundays ago, Mark was talking and sharing about the example of Jesus from Mark 15, how everybody was wondering why Jesus is spending time with the lowly, with the outcasts. Actually, in our society, many people look on children as lowly, as those who are in the line, the last ones. But actually, Jesus said, no, let the little children come to me, because to such belong the kingdom of God. They are more open. They are not so heavily burdened by sin yet. And so they are more open to the gospel, to Jesus. And it's easier to make disciples from children.
So how do you do it? Tell us about your ministry, what it is that you're involved in, and how do you actually disciple kids?
Well, you need to have a plan, just like Mark was preaching that Sunday. So the plan that we have in our mission, we work with Child Evangelist Fellowship. In Lithuania, we have Vaikų krikščioniško ugdymo draugija. And our plan is to do the direct ministry to preschoolers, to kindergarten age children, to school age children and teenagers. But we also have a plan to equip others to do. I myself can reach maybe 100 children, but if I equip several more believers, we will reach then more children than that. And so we do training, seminars, workshops, courses, intensive courses, and we provide also literature, how to work with the preschoolers and how to work with school children and with teenagers. We know that all of those three groups need different methods.
That's incredible. Do you have any stories to share about maybe some kids that you were able to disciple?
I want to share about the Bible correspondence course that took place even before CEF came to Lithuania. And all this correspondence course was done from Šiauliai about 30 years or so ago. And many thousand children were enrolled in this Bible correspondence course. And some children were saved, became believers, and grew up to be Christians. And they are still, now they are grown up, they have their children, and they are working with the Lord. So that's incredible how you can do this even with no face-to-face contact. But of course, those children then became teenagers, and they were coming to the local churches in Šiauliai and in Vilnius. So I'm really happy about such wonders that we can do even with the Bible correspondence course.
That's amazing. Rita, are there any prayer needs? How can we support you in what you're doing? What would be a way for those who are watching, and also for those of us who are here in the church? How can we be a support to you?
Definitely, there is a way. As we teach children about missions, we teach them pray, give, or go. The same can be applicable to us adults. Pray for the children's ministry and for children workers who work in the church and outside the church. You can give also. You can give your talents, what you are capable of doing, maybe some audio visual things, maybe some translation. You can give your time. Come and host Good News Club for the neighborhood children. And you can also go. Come with us and we can train you and equip you to do the ministry, first of all with us and then on your own. And maybe from that, churches can grow. We have several examples when churches started from just children's ministry.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important to disciple the new generation, to build up the new generation. Thank you, Rita, so much for sharing. We are so excited. And for those of you watching, Journey Church Vilnius is very young. We celebrated our first anniversary just a few months ago, but we are bursting with life. And there are so many things going on. And you listened to already several ministries that our church members are involved with. And it's just so exciting when people are not just sitting at church on Sunday, but they're actually doing something about it. They are sharing the good news wherever they are and wherever God has called them to be. So please continue to pray with us. Please join us in prayer, and please join us in what we're doing here in Vilnius. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.